got news live at 6. Effective today, Syracuse University moves from COVID level red to level blue. CitrusTV reporter Jake Morel has more on what this means for SU students and staff.
And in just 1 hour, Syracuse men's basketball faces off against Georgia Tech. CitrusTV reporter Ilana Epstein is live from the Dome with more on the matchup.
And things remain tense between government leaders in Ukraine and Russia. CitrusTV reporter Ronnie Parrillo has the latest on this international conflict. Live at 6 starts right now.
TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Effective today, Syracuse University is now in COVID level blue. Good evening, I'm Louise Rath.
And I'm Moriah. Humisten. This is the first time the university has been back on level blue since August 28th of last year.
And with the university changing its policy, campus looked a little different today. CitrusTV's Jake Morel is in studio with more. Jake?
Thanks, Louise. Campus indeed did look a little different today with the new policy in place. The blue level masking is a step up from red, where it previously was for almost the entirety of the current school year. In red level, students were required to wear masks everywhere, including outside in groups. Now, on blue level, students are only required to wear masks during academic instruction, but are not required to wear them in other campus settings. Today, I walked around campus to see each building to see the changed regulations in some of the most popular places for students. This included the Barnes Center at the Arch, Shine Student Center, Byrd and Carnegie Libraries, all dining halls, and all student dorms. Syracuse University bases their COVID regulations off of county numbers, which have been declining since they peaked in January. Onondaga County now has 2,339 total cases and 127 daily new cases per every 100,000 people, which is a rapid drop from when students arrived on campus about a month ago, when it was a bit over 1,000 cases per every 100,000 people per day. The county also now has a 72.6% vaccination rate, which County Executive Ryan McMahon said would play a big role in decreasing COVID regulations. In terms of campus COVID numbers after this change, there are 84 active cases on campus, which is a decrease of 38 since Friday. This includes 13 new student cases and 2 new employee cases. The positivity rate remains at 1%. These decreasing cases on campus and in the county meant a big change for SU students today. In year 2 of the pandemic, they won't have to wear masks everywhere anymore. Louise, Moriah, back to you guys.
Jake, thank you. And although the university loosened these COVID restrictions, masks are still required during certain non-academic events. This includes sporting events in the Carrier Dome, meaning that masks are still required for fans regardless of vaccination status. And university leaders say they are working with state, public, and health officials and other large venue operators to make possible adjustments to the stadium mandate.
This news comes ahead of 3 SU men's basketball games happening this week. CitrusTV reporter Ilana Epstein is live outside the Carrier Dome with more about the game tonight and the Duke game on Saturday. Ilana?
Louise and Moriah, good evening. Right now I'm standing outside of the Carrier Dome. In just an hour, the Orange will be taking on Georgia Tech. Now, this game was originally scheduled for late December, but had to be rescheduled because of COVID. The Orange are coming off of a win from this past Saturday in the Dome against Boston College. They won by 20 points. Buddy Boeheim and Cole Swider led to that win. Now, this is a very big week here in Syracuse. Many fans will be attending the game, and the weather has been very nice, so many families are visiting campus, and many fans will be attending this game. But like I said, it is a very big week here in Syracuse. It is Duke week. The Orange will be taking on Duke University this Saturday at 6 o'clock p.m. It is a huge game. It is the most attended college basketball game of the season. Many fans like to gather right here behind me and camp out starting Thursday night up until the game at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Now, we only have a few games left of the season. We have the game here tonight starting at 7 o'clock p.m. We also have the game against Notre Dame. It's an away game on Wednesday. We have the Duke game on Saturday, and the game against the University of Miami is our final game taking place next Saturday following the Duke game. We lost against the University of Miami when it was an away game. We're hoping to take back that win here at the Dome. It is a very exciting time here for Syracuse University students with college basketball, but that's all I got right now. Louise and Moriah, back to you.
Ilana, thank you. And looking now towards COVID hospitalizations and more good news on the COVID front. Governor Hochul says New York hospitalizations are at their lowest point since Thanksgiving. Over the weekend, the number of active hospitalizations dropped below 2,750 for the first time since November 27th. The state's positivity rate is currently 1.54%.
And state health officials say New York will not enforce its booster shot mandate for healthcare workers. This as concerns of staffing shortages continue to rise. New York State Health Commissioner Mary Bassett says this decision to drop enforcement reflects the reality of low booster shot rates, especially in nursing homes. Today would have been the deadline for healthcare workers to get their third dose.
And new details on campus. SU's Gamma Phi Beta sorority is on investigative status tonight. An SU spokesperson told CitrusTV that the status change is due to, quote, alleged violations of the Code of Student Conduct. SU's G Phi chapter is the alpha chapter for the sorority, and they now join SU's Phi Kappa Psi fraternity, which was placed on investigative status earlier this month.
Looking now towards Destiny USA, where police are investigating 3 violent robberies from over the weekend. All 3 robberies took place on Saturday. In each instance, victims were hit in the face multiple times before suspects took off with their personal belongings. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Criminal Investigations Division at 315-442-5222.
And state officials overseeing the proposal to rebuild Interstate 81 have released an alternative plan for a traffic roundabout. The original plan put the roundabout near Dr. King Elementary School, but the State Department of Transportation will move this roundabout to Van Buren Street near Renwick Avenue. And this new location is just west of SU's campus, providing easier access to Syracuse's largest employer and the Carrier Dome.
And while with President's Week break underway for local school districts, the Syracuse Airport is especially busy. The Syracuse Hancock International Airport's official Twitter page says the parking garage, open lots, and overflow parking are full as of last night. To guarantee a parking spot, passengers can head over to flysyracuse.com to pre-book their parking spot.
And turning now to New York City, where at least 6 people were stabbed in New York City's subway system over the weekend. Attacks unfolding just hours after Mayor Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul unveiled a new plan to combat violence on public transit in the city. The 17-page subway safety plan will see more police and mental health teams deployed across the subway system starting today.
When it snows in Syracuse, plows are sent into the city streets. Their goal to clear the roads in less than 24 hours. But when plows don't make it to the residential areas, locals become upset. CitrusTV reporter Nicole Aponte investigates why snowplows skip roads adjacent to the university.
Two weeks after the biggest snowstorm of the season, roads uncleared for days, leaving residents frustrated and confused.
It's just like when you see all the streets being plowed, it's like, why us? Like, it's a bit annoying.
Have the snowplow not coming down, it's impossible to get down a street.
Both Haley and Aphrodite live off Euclid Avenue, their street without a snowplow in sight.
When was the last time that you saw a plow go down your street?
Probably once in the middle of the snowstorm to just like clear it a little bit, and then it kept snowing and then they never came back. I haven't seen a plow since.
The problem is much bigger than a single snowstorm. The main reason side streets off Euclid Avenue went days without being cleared: illegal parking.
That if there are cars on both sides of the street, there's just no way the plow is going to get down, and so they end up skipping that road and hoping that when they come back through again, some of those cars have moved.
Meet Corey Driscoll-Dunham, Chief Operating Officer for the City of Syracuse. According to her, residents make it difficult for snowplow drivers.
You know, it's certainly not an issue unique to the university area. There are streets throughout the city that are narrow, and if cars are parked on both sides, it just makes it really difficult for the plow to get through.
The city prioritizes hilly and congested areas first. No matter the parking situation, flatter areas like Aphrodite and Haley Street are usually the roads that don't get plowed right away.
Understandably, some residents in those neighborhoods become frustrated, and I don't blame them because they end up being, lower on the totem pole than the hilly roads.
Here in Syracuse, the biggest problem for snowplows is parked cars on any given street, something Onondaga County snowplows don't have to deal with.
By and large, the roads that we're operating on, the only thing they can ever hit is a mailbox because the cars don't park on highways.
Marty Voss, commissioner of the Onondaga Department of Transportation, has been working at the county level for 6 winters. He He tells Citrus TV the real problem is the size of Syracuse roads.
They have a different service area, much smaller but much more compact, and also, much dicier in terms of navigating those narrow streets.
These are the streets that residents rely on every single day. Now,
we have to deal with the consequences when we don't deserve it, and it's just when you see other streets being plowed, it's why us?
Today, the roads quiet. Snow finally gone. A light dusting is all that can be seen. But the voices of residents linger in the silence. Nicole Aponte, Citrus TV News.
Nicole, thank you. And Louise, every week we talk about walking to and from class with our hands in our pockets because it's so cold, but not today.
No, today I woke up, I put on a light jacket, hands were out of the pockets, hood was down. It was warm today, kind of shockingly warm, but I'm hearing we're supposed to be getting another snowstorm later in the week. Maybe Peyton Spellacy's here to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, Louise, but I want you to slow down because I just want to bask in the nice weather of today. We're in the blue level. We're getting some high temperatures. It's about 44 degrees right now. We are seeing that sun today, which is super exciting because I'm from California and I'm missing a little bit of that sunshine. We are seeing some light winds, some clouds in the sky, but nothing too much. Now, going into tonight, if you're headed to the Dome for the home game, it's going to be a pleasant walk still. It's about 40 degrees outside, not much different from it is right now. Whoops, excuse me, sorry about that. It's not too much different from it is right now. We're experiencing some light wind, but we're not going to get that wind chill, so it's going to be quite nice outside. That's all I have for you guys right now. Back to you.
And when we return, things remain tense between government leaders in Ukraine and Russia. Citrus TV reporter Ronnie Parrillo has the latest on this international conflict.
And climate activists in Germany are blocking the flow of major roads. We'll have more on government officials' response.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. For many people, HPV hides inside them and they never develop symptoms. But for others, HPV links directly to cancer. My cancer almost ended my career. It almost ended me. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. The HPV vaccine is recommended for 11 to 12-year-olds, and a catch-up vaccine may be an option for teens and young adults. Talk to your doctors. You don't want HPV hiding inside your body like HPV has been hiding inside this commercial. Did you see all of them? Go to thinkaboutthelink.org to look again and learn more. Together, we can stop cancer before it starts.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Tensions continue to rise at the Russia-Ukraine border as Russian troops have continued movement into Ukraine. Here with the latest on these tensions and what could happen next is Citrus TV reporter Ronnie Parrillo. Ronnie?
Moriah and Louise, thank you. Well, this has been an evolving situation for the past several weeks. Russian President Vladimir Putin continues to be upset over Ukraine's relationship with NATO countries and has now taken drastic action. Just hours ago, President Putin, in a televised speech, recognized the independence of 2 Russia-backed breakaway regions in eastern Ukraine. Now, this significantly raises the likelihood of a Russian invasion into Ukraine, as more troops have amassed at the border and shellings have continued. Putin just minutes ago announced that he is stationing Russian, quote, peacekeepers at the border. This as fears of a full war are now on the table. Following Putin's speech, the United States and European Union both moved to impose sanctions, something Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has been asking for several days now. Zelensky also spoke with President Biden following Putin's speech today. He is expected to call British Prime Minister Boris Johnson in the coming hours. Now, today, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki announced that Biden will soon sign an executive order that prohibits U.S. investment and trade in Ukrainian breakaway regions. Psaki said that if Russia were to further invade, there would be more sanctions to follow from the NATO countries. And also in his speech today, Putin said that Ukraine is, quote, not just a neighboring country, but part of Russian culture. European Union leaders quickly expressed their disappointment in his recognition of the Russia-backed regions. Now, the U.S. is continuing to order the evacuation of all Americans from Ukraine, despite commercial flights being difficult to board right now. There are also concerns about how a Russian invasion in Ukraine could affect the energy industry around the world. Now, this is a rapidly evolving situation, so be sure to stay with us here on Citrus TV News and follow us at Citrus TV News on Twitter for the latest. Back to you guys.
Ronnie, thank you. And in more international news, Queen Elizabeth tested positive for COVID yesterday. Buckingham Palace has reported that she's experiencing mild symptoms and plans to carry on with light work through the coming week. The Queen will continue to receive medical attention and follow all COVID guidelines. Despite this new development, the UK plans to lift the isolation requirement if residents test positive.
And climate activists in Germany are gluing themselves, yes, to major roads to demand an end to flood waste, blocking the country's biggest port. German officials have condemned these protests.
Bavaria's top state security official says the blockades aren't covered by freedom of assembly. The head of Germany's Green Party has even criticized the protests, saying they could hurt popular support for climate change measures. And the island of Madagascar is bracing for its 4th cyclone to make landfall in the last month. Cyclone Amnati is expected to hit late Tuesday evening and is projected to be the largest and the strongest of the 3 previous storms.
After approximately 200 people have been found dead this cyclone season, a red alert has already been issued for Amnati as it currently hovers over the Indian Ocean with max wind speeds reaching 138 miles per hour.
Stick with us for your 5-day forecast.
That's my resignation letter. You're resigning. Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
What if one day you went to that secret place? That spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found this. What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real. Before drugs turn your life upside down. Before drugs take their toll on you and your family. Know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back. We are looking at the current temperatures in the area. As you can see, we're rounding off in the mid 40s. There's nothing too out of the norm. The weather is very uniform in all the areas. The only thing to watch out for is that there is a flood warning up here near Lake Ontario. So if you're headed up north or you live in one of these areas, make sure to watch out for that. Now looking at your 5-day forecast, like Louise said earlier, we are expecting some snow, but not until Friday. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, we are expecting some rain, but it's going to be still hot with a high of 55 and a low of 46. Wednesday, we're still expecting that rain, a little bit of snow, but nothing like Friday. Friday, we're expecting the most snow. It's going to be a high of 29 and a low of 12. And then Saturday, it's also going to be partly cloudy. So we have a little mix of all types of weather this week. Noah, what's it like in sports? What can we expect?
Well, Peyton, first off, I love that forecast today, but if you're like me, the sun means it's time to protect my skin from burning. And what better way to do that than take in some basketball in the Dome? Coming up in sports, I'll give you the full preview of SU's Monday night showdown after the break.
Some kids never smile. They're embarrassed by their crooked teeth. They want braces like the other kids, but their families can't afford them. Some may even try to straighten their teeth themselves. That can make everything worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. It helps provide orthodontic treatment to kids and teens whose families can't afford it. For kids who apply, are approved, and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, it can be life-changing. Their treatment is in the hands of an expert, a licensed local orthodontic specialist who improves their smiles by correctly aligning teeth and jaws. Some kids think they'll never smile again, but Donated Orthodontic Services may help them smile with confidence. To link to the application and eligibility requirements, visit AAO.info.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
60 degrees outside means you'll hear Glory Days blaring on speakers citywide and along with the Dome as Coach Boeheim leads SU into its first of 3 games this week. Welcome into sports. I'm Noah Searson. We're nearing the eve of March, and Syracuse is looking to claw itself onto the all-too-familiar bubble, starting with a matchup against Georgia Tech tonight. The Orange come in winners of 4 straight inside the Dome, including a 20-point dismantling of Boston College. But tonight should be much tougher. The Yellow Jackets own the second-best three-point defense in the conference and lead the ACC in forced turnovers. If Georgia Tech head coach Josh Pastner doubles Buddy Boeheim, it could be a big opportunity for Jimmy or even Frank Anselm down low. The Orange also have the tall task of going against the league's 3rd leading scorer, Michael DeVoe, who has been on a tear of late, averaging over 19 a game in his last 4. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m., so stick to @CitrusTV Sports during the game for updates, along with Orange Press Pass postgame at 11 p.m. From the hardwood to the turf, SU women's lacrosse had a big early season challenge last night when a hungry Sea Wolves squad traveled up to the Dome for Katie Rowan's jersey retirement celebration. A momentous occasion for the program, but the Sea Wolves, they were battling tough through a half, actually grab a lead right there up 9-8 Charlotte. Verhulst puts it into the back of the net. Wasn't sure if it went in at first, but then it goes in. Right here, Megan Carney, she gets the free position to knot things up, and the Orange would go on a 4-goal run. Another big part of that right here, Megan Tyrell with a side-winding shot to put SU up 11-9. Stony Brook, couple goals late in the 4th period, but Kimber Hauer shut down Stony Brook's comeback attempt. SU rolls 12-11 and moves to 2-0 on the season. Looking at the Inside Lacrosse women's poll real quick, the top 4 remains untouched following the weekend. Defending national champion Boston College still run the show, followed by North Carolina and Syracuse. And the Seawolves' effort wasn't awarded with a victory, but they stick around in the 4th spot even after the loss. The Orange hit the road next weekend for the first time to take on Notre Dame. And over on the men's side, it wasn't as sweet a story as the Orange ran out of juice against the top-ranked Terrapins on Sunday. Syracuse stuck with Maryland for 45 minutes, but let the game slip away in the fourth, dropping Gary Gates' squad to 1-1 on the new season. Good news for the Orange, though. The USIL A rankings dropped earlier today, and Syracuse holds its ranking in the top 10 for at least one more week. The positive mojo, though, it stops right there, as the Orange will be tested next weekend as they hit the road to take on second-ranked Virginia and its vaunted offense that has scored 50 goals through 3 games. Another big early season test for Gary Gate and company to make a statement, whether good or, well, bad.
Noah, thank you. When we come back, we'll take a look at your wake-up weather, and hopefully we'll be celebrating a win with some good weather.
Here's to the straggly ones. The first ones. Hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
Third line, please.
DEPRESSION. Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own.
Anxiety. I thought so.
Like many health conditions, help for mental illness takes professional diagnosis and treatment. And the sooner you seek treatment, the better.
Look at that. 6,000 steps and PTSD.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Welcome back. We are looking at your wake-up weather right now. Tomorrow at about 9 a.m. it's going to be 48 degrees, but don't let that number fool you because later at 11 we're going to have some rain starting. We're expecting mostly cloudy skies, so it's not going to be as nice as today. We are definitely expecting some of that rain later and for most of the day. So, rain. We had a great day today, rain tomorrow. Not looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, something to look forward to, the avocado ban has been lifted. Avocados from Mexico are back in the States.
And Louise and Peyton, I'm going to ask you what your favorite avocado snacks are. One of my favorite things, my roommates and I always have a chip and dip party, and the dip I'm always bringing is guacamole.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going for the avocado toast with some eggs, sourdough bread. Yeah, so good. Some hot sauce. Delicious.
With the Trader Joe's everything but the bagel seasoning.
Oh, absolutely.
So
can't live without it.
I went through a phase where I would do smoothies every morning, and avocados started going into the smoothies towards the end of that phase. Good consistency. That's what I'll say. Well, hey, that's all the time we have today on Citrus TV News.
For more of the latest, follow us on Citrus TV News on Twitter or check out our website at CitrusTV.com.
And for all of us here at Citrus TV News, I'm Louise Rath.
And I'm Moriah. Humisten. Have a great night, Syracuse. Enjoy the weather and enjoy the games this week.
And the avocados.
And the avocados. Gonna go to Trader Joe's.